Hey Mauro, how are you doing?
It's super nice to meet you, Chris. I'm doing great. Just chilling
Y-
out on a
Yeah,
Saturday afternoon.
yeah. How is there in Brazil?
Oh, it's pretty hot. A warm and
Oh.
warm, heated summer. We're boiling here, but it's not okay.
How many degrees, more or less?
Oh, I think in Celsius, right? It's
Yeah,
something like 32, 33.
okay. So it's
A
warm. It's
really,
warm.
really, yeah, really warm. We are
Yeah.
kind of sweating and melting, but it's okay.
Here is like 10 degrees Celsius. So kind of springing temperature in Finland, but it may snow and go under zero in the next days. So yeah, typical.
I see.
A
Oh,
bit
yeah.
different.
But in Finland, you mean you have something like 10 degrees in the spring? So the winter is much colder, right?
Yeah, but then it depends on which place in Finland, and then on the year, because last year there was much more snow and it was colder. Now the snow is gone, at least here where I
I
live,
see.
and it's warmer. But I think that it was Tuesday or Wednesday when it should be snowing again. But I don't think that it's going to stay. I think that this year spring is coming earlier than the previous years. But let's see. Everything is possible here. Even in June, there can
Yeah.
be snow. But let's talk about you and your one man band, Leatherjacks. So, did I pronounce right the name Leatherjacks?
Totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally right.
So, tell us more about why one man band and something about when did you start this project?
Well, I've been in many and many bands, as any teenage rocker that starts to play here and there. And I tried many times to have some reggae bands, ska bands, jazz bands, lots of genres that I've been playing here and there. But I've always been a rocker, and I didn't fit in any band. And I I gave to myself a kind of time from 2010 to 2014 approximately, and I gave myself a time in music to think about everything. So I figure out what I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do actually. And then I decided to start Leatherjacks in 2016,
Okay.
and here we are. But
Yeah.
due to the fact that it's super hard to find heavy metal musicians here in Brazil,
Okay.
and I decided to do it all by myself because it's tough, because it's not something arrogant that I'm gonna speak now, but um, to find virtuoso musicians, it's pretty tough, especially here in Brazil, because when you search these ones in metal or any other genre, they want to bill you for it. So this is the kind of musician that I need. I'm not sounding arrogant or nothing like that, but it's the kind of musician that I want to approach or to have playing with me, because my music is not a simple music. I mean, not that simple music is bad or something like that, but the aesthetics that I try to reach for are more complex and so on. So, Chris, you can imagine how hard it is to find the right musicians, and especially musicians who don't want to bill you for it. So
Yeah.
I decided to do it all by myself. Learned some digital drumming here and there, the sample drums and stuff. I play a little bit of drums, so I understand the concepts and started out. I play bass, guitars, sing. So it was a little hard in terms of songwriting, but at the same time, it was easy for me in terms of not worrying about uh, how the project would or will flow here and there. You know?
Yeah,
So it's all by myself. I can flow
yeah,
just the way I want. You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
easier
So
in this side. But the bad part of it is that when I want to play live, I need to figure out things. But it's not impossible. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's it's
yeah,
possible to do it.
yeah. And for what I understood, you also did all the mixing and recording stuff, etc., for your albums. Am
Yeah,
I right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So how was that?
especially Yeah, especially also because here in Brazil, the same thing happens, metal and heavy metal producers are more hard to find. Nowadays, it's a little bit easier because of extreme metal growing here and there, and we have the Brazilian amazing bands like Cripita or Nervosa. So people who listen to this kind of sound are are having to learn how to produce and to mix. So I think that in Brazil the metal or heavy metal, extreme metal producers are growing, but 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago, it was a little bit more restrict.
Yeah,
So I decided to learn it all. I always loved to mix and master, so it's a super funny
yeah.
step of the
Did you
production.
learn by yourself everything?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But of course, researching a lot, studying a lot. I
Okay.
love it.
A lot of work.
A lot of work. Yeah, I take in average time, something like 1 year to 1 year and a half per album. So it's lots of tough work, but it's worth. It
Yeah,
it worth.
yeah. So your last album, Surviving the Beginning of the End, was released in 2023. So 2 years ago,
Exactly.
more or less.
Yeah, exactly.
What can you tell about its genesis and lyrics?
Well, surviving the beginning of the end came from an inspiration during the pandemics, because I think that we all started to feel that kind of apocalyptic mindset, or a collective hive mentality of apocalyptic stuff. So this was the main force that inspired me to write the album. And most of the songs of this album is about things of politics and the system and secrecies and conspiracies and stuff like that. I love that kind of subjects, and it
Okay.
inspired me to make the third album. And it took
S-
it took me almost 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. So are you working on new music now, or what's going on?
Absolutely, I'm doing some new songs. I've 4 songs that I can say, oh, it's sounding good, and I'm preparing the fourth album for sure.
Yeah, nice, nice.
I will give some spoilers in the interview for sure.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
As you mentioned before, it's going to be complicated to play live, but how do you feel? Do you have the desire of playing live, or do you enjoy more playing by yourself and creating music?
I think both. I think both things because playing live is so cool. You have that kind of interaction with the crowd and so on. I miss it. I really miss it. I did some shows in 2017, and then I really had to stop because the band lineup has broke, and I was trying to find new guys, and then came the pandemics, and I got some dismotivation or somehow, you know,
Yeah,
I felt, yeah, yeah, and then time goes by, I started to make the third album and so on, but I always to play live. I always know. Sorry, I love to play live,
yeah, yeah,
and yeah, I confuse it some words here, but I love to play live. I really miss it, but I have lots of fun recording. I have a
yeah,
home studio here. It's super cool. I think both things are my passion.
yeah. Do you think that out there, maybe because when we talk about live, maybe you can find also people from other countries that are
Yeah,
interested to
yeah,
come and play live.
I would
So
love that. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I could travel around to Finland or to Italy or to France and find the musicians
yeah,
in the right spots, in the right places. Who knows? We
yeah.
could try.
So maybe if someone is watching this interview and is a musician
Yeah,
and is interested to play with you and maybe go live, send a message.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, why the name Leatherjacks?
Well, I had a brown leather jacket that every time that was winter here in Brazil, I use it like every day. And some of my friends and colleagues, oh, here's the man with the leather jacket. Here's the man, they started playing with it. And I was like, wow, it would be a good name. But at first I thought like leather jacket, but due to the thing that I was listening to Santa Cruz band from Finland,
Yeah,
and they were all like Archie Cruz, Johnny Cruz, and so on. I thought to myself, wow, I could make uh, a surname like Jax, and I could be Mauro Jax, and he would be uh, Bob Jax, and so on. And I
yeah,
was like, wow, Leather Jacks, that's cool.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
started out. And then I discovered that Leather Jacks is a kind of fish or slug or something like but
yeah,
it's nothing about it. It's all about the leather and rock and roll
yeah,
and
yeah,
the heavy metal lifestyle.
yeah. What gear do you use?
Usually, I have my guitars. Most of them are not expensive brands. I always buy the guitar that fits to my fingers and I like it. It doesn't matter where it comes from. So I use some guitars even with Brazilian brands. I don't mind about it. So of course that I equip them with good pickups. I mm, put them to a luthier to improve it, the neck and so on. Of course that I do it all. But most of my guitars are simple and efficient at the same time. And I use a PV amplifier that I have for live performances. But when I'm recording, I opted for the digital stuff, like Amplitude
Yeah, yeah,
or Guitar Rig and all that kind of stuff. I love these softwares because you can emulate all the mics and the speakers and the kinds of any sounds that you want.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's super cool.
yeah. And how many guitars do you own? Because you say that you have many, but how many?
Now, at the total, I have three electric guitars, and I have one steel acoustic guitar, and another one which is nylon strings guitar.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
here in Brazil we have bossa nova, and we love it.
yeah. So you have to.
Yeah, yeah. We all in Brazil started out to with nylon strings.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a tradition here.
yeah. When did you start to play guitar?
Well, I have lots of remembrances in my 7 to 8 years old with my uncle. He always plays and play the guitar up to date. And he started. teaching me some things. I remember that the first song that I learned was Peter Gunn, the theme,
Okay.
that one. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you could be with one finger, and we always had a family joke, in bad time because I used my middle finger to play it. So it was my only
Showing the
finger that
middle
I knew.
finger, just
Yeah,
playing.
and I was like, dun, 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 dun. We all start from somewhere, and
Yeah,
there are lots of good remembrances about it.
yeah,
And then, of course, that I started to really improve myself with friends in school because I have some two or three friends here and there that were also playing guitars and all that kind of stuff. And I learned the first chords, so it helped me a lot.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I started to use all the fingers
Not just the middle finger
instead.
anymore.
No, no, no. I got kind of fed up of giving the finger to everyone.
Yeah. And as singer, when did you start to sing?
Um, I started singing when I was like 14 to 15 years old, but just as a backing vocalist.
Okay.
I wasn't, yeah, yeah, I wasn't that good for lead vocals. My started as a lead vocalist was like in 2008 when I had pop Portuguese Brazilian metal Brazilian pop rock band, and we were singing famous bands here in Brazil, covering them, and our singer got out, and I said to myself, well, it's me.
Let's give a
I
try.
mean, yeah, yeah, because we had like two or three singers that went out, and I was like, no, no, now I'm better. Let's do it, And I went for a kind of pressure, but it was good, because I had to understand the principles of singing and how to control the muscles and so on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then, yeah, and then in that time that I mentioned with you, from 2010 for 2014, that was the period that I really started to study the singers that I always loved. Bruce Dickinson, David Coverdale, Ronnie James Dio, and so on. And I really started to nail into vocal sciences. It was a lifetime division for me. It was the
yeah,
period that I gave to myself to improve myself in singing, and especially in the distorted vocals sciences. Super cool.
yeah, yeah. And have you ever, for what I understood, you didn't study with any teacher. You are a self-made musician and
Yeah,
singer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm completely self-taught. The only time I tried to have a singing lesson, I got a sore throat. So can you believe it? I swear to you, when I tried to reach for a teacher, he gave me a sore throat. It's unbelievable, right?
Maybe it was not a
And
good teacher.
yeah, yeah, I think so. But
Yeah.
I always went very fine when I was in my self-taught road. I mean, of course, that I study with other people, seeing tutorials here and there, that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Because of course it's important to have tips and to have some kind of guidance
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people and other people. But I mean, um stay with someone in person and having lessons. Nah, no, I don't have that patience for it.
Yeah, yeah. There is
I've been
a
always self taught.
question. There is a question. It's just. I think that I also
Hmm.
asked someone else before this,
Mm.
but it came in my mind that with a friend we were talking, and he say, "Yeah, because metal musician cannot read
The
notes
the
on a
yeah, the
pentagram."
scores. Oh yeah,
Yeah, are you able to read a pentagram with the notes?
yeah. I mean, I read the scores, but of course that I take some time. But I've
But you
learned
can
it
read it.
because yeah, I've learned it because my mom is a pianist. She
Okay.
plays the piano. Yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, we had to sell our piano due to financial problems.
Yeah.
It's tough. We are Brazilians. It's tough to live here. But anyways, during the period that she always played the piano and so on, she taught me the scores. I mean, music in my life was always present. Thank God.
Yeah.
With my mom, I discovered things like Deep Purple or Survivor, that kind of bands.
Yeah.
Journey. Um, she always listened to Foreigner too. I've been waiting for a
Mhm.
girl like you, something like this. So during my whole life, I was always listening to a mixture of hard rock stuff, AOR stuff, and at the same time, I was listening to Mozart or Bach in the piano.
Well, I
So
think that
it's
it was great that your
yeah,
mom gave you the
yeah,
right music to listen.
yeah. And now another thing that was super cool came from her father, my grandfather. He was a huge fan of jazz. Can you imagine a Brazilian instead of listening to samba, from his time and so on? He always hated samba. So my grandpa, thank God, he was always listening to things like Country Basie, Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, Tom Dorsey, and all that kind of swings and big
Yeah.
bands, rock steady, bebop. And no, they are not the villains from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, bebop and rock steady are musical genres.
It's interesting now thinking about the Turtle Ninjas,
Yeah,
how
pizza. Yeah,
they took the name. Why? Yeah, yeah. That's something that I need to dive in on the internet, and
yeah,
why they gave the name of
right.
music genre.
Yeah,
Why? That's interesting.
I think that it's super cool, bebop and rocksteady. And
Yeah,
right, Chris. I was always a researcher, just like as you can see, right? And
yeah,
I got fascinated when I discovered it. Where came I remember that something like 2008 or 2009, Google was like starting, you know, and I was like, where come the bebop and rocksteady TMNT names come from? And then there was you know, bebop and rocksteady. And then I went to YouTube to search for someone playing it, and it's super cool. It's like, do you know an old musician named Art Tatum? Have you heard about him?
I'm not sure. Probably
He
not.
was from, yeah, he was a great musician, jazz musician from the 1920s or something like this. Super, super old. But I mean, if you listen to this guy playing, it seems like he has four hands, and not two. It's bizarre. And he used to play all that kind of different swings inside the jazz music. So it
Yeah,
always
yeah,
kept me fascinated. Bebop, rocksteady. Um, I don't remember the other ones. Swing, maybe. You know,
yeah.
foxtrot, that kind of genres. super amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a favorite guitar player? Someone that you look at like, okay, this is the one that I want to
I
be
do,
like.
absolutely. Yeah,
So,
since my
who is?
childhood, since my childhood, is Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden. He's my hero. You know,
Yeah,
musically speaking, he's my hero.
yeah, yeah,
It would be an honor to shake hands with him, and say, "Man, you inspired me to play guitar." If you listen to my solos and all that kind of subtleties, if there's an English word for it, I try to be not to mimic, of course, because I have my own style, but many, many, many vibratos and
mm,
musical things here and there. You will listen to Adrian Smith there, because he was my huge inspiration
yeah.
in guitar.
Is Iron Maiden your favorite band, or one of the first metal band that you got into?
I think that when it's about metal, if I make a podium, I can say that Iron Maiden is the first one.
Yeah,
Always, always.
yeah,
I always see people like, oh no, Metallica is much better. No, it's not, man. It's not. I mean, of course, it's a matter of
yeah. I
musical
mean,
taste.
mm, when it comes to metal, it's so difficult to just choose
Yeah,
one, and there is it go to taste mostly, and
absolutely. Yeah,
there are all those big names that made the history of metal music. So
absolutely.
yeah, they are all great. Then we all have uh, different. If I should, I I don't know. I cannot say who's the best. I'm thinking at the beginning I was more listening to power metal, but of course Iron Maiden is one of the first band, and Steve Harris as a bass player is one that many have been inspired by. So, and
Yeah,
yeah, Bruce Dickinson is like
what a voice.
amazing, amazing. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen Iron Maiden live?
yeah, I did, and unfortunately, it wasn't that good as I was expecting. I saw them in 2004, and they were doing the Dance of Death tour, you know.
Yeah,
So I went to that gig expecting songs like Aces High or things like that, and they didn't play nothing. I was super upset with it. But
yeah,
at least in '99, I went to a solo Bruce Dixon show, and it was simply amazing. You know that video, Scream for Me Brazil?
yes, you were
I
there.
was there. Yeah, I was there. I was 13 years old. I went with my mom. She went with me and so on. And during that same period, Bruce Dixon was here in Brazil, a little bit before that date. And he went to he went for an afternoon of signing autographs and so on in a Brazilian library in a big mall here in Brazil. And I knew about that date and called my mom, and we went there. And there were a lot of metalheads in the library entrance, and my mom hold my hand. Come here, let's go inside the library. He won't he won't come from outside. He will come from inside. And I was the first to shake hands with Bruce Dickinson himself.
Such an honor.
And all, and everyone in the outside started to hit the glasses. Oh, son of a bitch! Oh, son of a bitch! And I was like, sorry. It was an unforgettable day, to me. And he is a super cool guy. You know,
Yeah,
I drew in a paper. I were prepared, you know. Maybe I could meet him or not, but I went prepared. So I drew some eddies in a paper and gave him, you know, and he was, "Whoa, good drawings, nice drawings," and so on. And he signed to me with a golden uh, pen that my mom uh, took
Brought.
for
Yeah.
him. Yeah, yeah, brought to him. Man, he's super cool, Chris. Seriously, a super
Yeah.
humble guy. You know, he don't care about the dimension that he has. I mean,
Yeah.
and it influenced me a lot. You know, because it doesn't matter if you play for 5 people or 5 million people. You have to be the same person you are, as I am being here with you.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and Bruce and the guys from Iron Maiden gave me all that kind of influences. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's
great.
super unforgettable. I
Mm.
love these guys. You know, I'm
Yeah.
suspicious to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. They are lovable. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
they are absolutely.
what other bands do you like to listen nowadays? For example,
Yeah,
if you think of what did you listen today or yesterday?
I've been listening a lot. Um, Gotthard from Switzerland, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like Steve Lee's
Mhm.
vocal styles. You know.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different from the heavy metal or Bruce Dickinson approach,
But
but
it's
I
so
love.
so emotional.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
so
He
I
was
mean,
a great singer.
he was, yeah, yeah. I mean, I listen to Gotthard almost every day, so
Yeah.
uh, it's it's my new favorite band, I could say.
Okay.
Below Iron Maiden, Iron
Yeah.
Maiden, Gotthard, and then of course in third place I would say Ronnie James Dio. You
Oh yeah.
know,
Yeah.
absolutely, this guy is
I
a
would say
master.
that as singer, if I have to put the my favorite singer as voice, Ronnie James Dio
In
is
first place, you know.
up there. Uh, so versatile, versatile.
Versatile, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
powerful, and reaching those high notes, but having also this raspy at some
yeah,
point. So I like, but then again, there are so many talented
yeah.
singers out there that. But yeah, he is the one that I would always like say. Yeah, that's the
I totally agree with you.
yeah
I love how how Ronnie used it, a kind of this sound, this vocal sound. He puts his voice like this, you know.
yeah
Hey, girl, you know.
almost in the front part of the mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And at the same time, he used that kind of voice, but with the raspy, you know. So it's a full-bodied, energetic, and raspy voice, you know, roaring, you know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Ronnie
What
was amazing.
he was a beast. He was a beast.
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
And um, what's the last band that you have seen live, if you remember?
Mm, let me see if I remember. From the huge ones, I think that I went in 2005 in a Linkin Park show, just because of my friends, you know, because I never enjoyed
You are
that.
not a Linkin Park fan.
No, no, no. I'm not a
Okay.
fan, but I respect them, you know, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
because Chester Bennington was amazing, you know,
yeah, yeah,
that kind of yeah, that screams and so on. I mean, it's amazing to see his techniques uh, for vocal sciences,
yeah,
to
yeah,
speak, you know. But it's not my cup of tea, you know. I
yeah,
rather a more traditional metal like
yeah,
Iron
yeah,
Maiden,
yeah,
Motorhead, you know,
yeah,
Saxon.
yeah. Uh,
I'm more into it.
I don't know if science is not your kind of metal, but you are into this science and interested in how the vocal
The
works.
vocal, yeah.
There is the singer from Lorna Shore, Will
Mm,
Ramos, and there are
mm,
videos. They did study about how his vocal cords change and what happened there, and they saw that there
wow.
is no damage. There is, I think, that was a charismatic voice YouTube channel.
Mm,
I think
I'm gonna
she
research
got
about it.
those video. So you check out. I think that uh, Will Ramos and vocal. Vocal science maybe, or research or test. I
Yeah.
don't know how to put there, but I think it was charismatic voice that went with him to do those.
I think I know that guy. Will Ramos is the one with all tattooed body, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
he's amazing. Yeah. He
yeah,
makes uh he makes some guttural and growling and screams.
yeah,
He
yeah,
really knows how to do it.
yeah.
Super.
And he is also very good in clean vocals. That's something that
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe many people don't know, but he he has on his YouTube channel some clean vocals cover. So it's
Amazing.
interesting, and also he is one self-made, so he never studied with a teacher. So it's
Self-taught.
yeah, self-taught. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
super cool. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember you mentioned about Will Ramos, and I remember also Alex Terrible. He's
oh yeah,
also
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. it's
I
it's
mean,
cra-
it's
it's crazy how a person can use the vocal cords and change the sounds, but not
yeah,
everybody are able to do that. You need to be gifted in a way, otherwise you
yeah,
are
I
going to
believe it.
ruin your your voice.
Yeah, yeah. You have to enjoy a lot, and you have to know your body a lot. Your
Yeah,
limits and so on. I mean, for instance, my kind of distortion is more into that Bruce Dickinson stuff,
yeah,
which is more of closed glottis and vocal folds and stuff like that. If I try to make that kind of Stevie Lee uh, distortion, which is more something like this, I hurt myself. No, it's not for me.
yeah, yeah,
My distortion is more closed, like more like this, and then it's okay for me. So I mean, you have to know yourself and your
mm,
limits, and understand how your body works.
yeah,
It's fundamental. But it's not impossible. I
yeah,
mean, I always think that if we can speak, we can sing.
yeah, true.
It's something like this, and it's
Yeah,
amazing, right?
yeah.
It's.
How do you take care of your voice?
I don't smoke. I never
Okay.
smoke nothing. I don't like drugs, nothing. Sometimes here and there, I drink some beers, of course, because I love beers. I love wine. But at the same time, I always think to myself, if I'm gonna drink, I'm not gonna sing. You know, it's a
Yeah,
rule to me. Because alcohol dries your vocal folds and dries your vocal tract. So it's not cool.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I always do a lot of not. I mean, I don't warm up with that me. No, that's super boring. But I always sing the songs that I'm gonna sing in a low volume. You know, just
Okay.
like something like, so if I were about to sing Holy Diver, for instance, and I need to warm up. I go like, sing me a song, you're a singer. Holy Diver, no, Heaven and Hell, for instance. Sorry, confused here. But you understand, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I never do that kind of me. No, it's so boring, you know. And why not warming up with the music itself? You know? It's
Yeah, yeah,
so much funnier to do, and so I try my best to take care of my voice, of course. Sleep well, you know, have a good sleep. Don't do drugs, you know, even if you're not a singer. Come on.
yeah,
And
yeah.
smoking,
The if we think about the, maybe not nowadays anymore, I think that the metal bands, for example, are quite straight when maybe there are someone that use some drugs. I don't know,
yeah,
but for what I have seen and people that I met, people sometimes thinks that in the backstage there is crazy things happen, but actually
and no,
nothing happened. It's like
no, yeah,
the artist is before the show is kind of focus and preparing. They
yeah,
may eat some, no, they eat after, and then after the gig they just cool down. So they nothing crazy happened ever. So it's just being, and sometimes the artist need his space. So everybody else in the band go out, and maybe the front man is there alone, because
exactly, yeah,
needs its own time, because everyone is different. But when it
yeah,
comes to drugs in general, I think that people don't realize how how much an addiction is bad, and it's not easy to stop. And also the
exactly,
damage that get in the brain. And then of course there are people like Ozzy Osbourne, for example, that are more resistant than other. But also Ozzy Osbourne got Parkinson's, so we are all humans, and we should try to take care of ourselves. Then, of course, it's all about genes. So, do you have good or bad genes? Because even if you have the most healthy life, everything can happen, and you can get
yeah,
some disease or things like that. But
yeah, yeah.
let's get to something else. let's let's
Absolutely.
see. Random topic number one.
Let's do it.
Well, we got. I think that nobody see embarrassing moments. So, if you think about your life in general, there was something that happened, and you were super embarrassed because of that, and still thinking about that moment you feel a bit ashamed, or it makes you laugh or whatever.
I remember an embarrassing moment now that wasn't directly myself in the situation. You know, I was mentioned in the situation, but I was rehearsing with an old friend of mine that he's a drummer and so on. But he was never in Leatherjacks actually, you know. But we used it to jam along because he's a great drummer and so on. And I called an old friend of mine from school times, and he plays bass, you know, and he went there to jam along with us. And I was singing and playing. This friend of mine was in the drums, and this other one in the bass. Okay. And we were talking about random stuff, and the bass friend, he he ordered vodka, you know, to the studio. And when the vodka arrived, I I saw the name, you know, of the vodka. I think it was Veborov or something like this. You know? and I started to read the Russian words. I don't think it was Veborova. I think it was other brand, but it was all in Russian. And I started reading it because I love to study languages and new letters and alphabets and so on. And this friend of mine, the bassist one, he knew me better than the drummer. And he went to the drummer and he said, "Man, Mauro was a retard during the school. He was a low IQ. He was always a dumbass. He was always an idiot in maths or physics or anything, you know. And now he's super intelligent, super smart." And I was like, "Whoa, come on, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, right." You know, I was like, "What the fuck, man?" But it was a super unforgettable moment, and it was so funny, you know. At the same time, it was so funny because he was sincere, you know.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
started laughing. But my drummer friend, he was like, "What the fuck," you know, and we all started laughing a lot. And of course, that I had a little bit of vodka, right? A
Yeah.
little, of course.
Yeah.
And
But
I
let's
was like,
get, yeah. Tell
and
me
you know,
more.
yeah, and me and you, we are both super white, you know. You can imagine how red I was after the little vodka, you know. But it's okay.
It warm up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But let's see what's the next one. Mm,
Right.
something juicy. Let's see if we get something. Well, we got the movies.
Right. Amazing.
So, so are you into movies?
Absolutely. I love movies, you know.
So, what kind of movies? What genre mostly you like to watch?
Most of sci-fi action movies, you know, I love them. Movies like The Abyss from
Yeah,
the 80s, James Cameron and so on, Terminator, you know, Alien. I love
yeah,
that kind of movies, you know. Some dance movies, but at the same time, classics, you know.
yeah,
And I love the super comedy ones, you know, like Hot Shots or National Lampoon, you know,
yeah, yeah,
Vacations, Christmas Vacations, Chevy Chase, and so on. I love that. You know, it
yeah.
really makes me laugh hard. You know,
You know,
and
sometimes you need to watch those, let's say, a bit stupid, but
yeah,
comedy.
we need that. Yeah, we need
Yeah, we
that
need to
really.
laugh.
Absolutely. In action, of course, I like things like Matrix or Rambo, you
Yeah,
know, or Stallone Cobra, you know, things like that. It's amazing. You know? But I always prefer the old movies. You know, I don't like
mm.
that much the new ones. You know.
Yeah. For example, I'm big into horror movie and comedy also, but
Hmm.
for example, horror movie, I think that after the 90s, nothing,
Yeah. No. No.
nothing
No.
good
No.
was released.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
totally
watched,
agree.
I watched a few weeks ago uh, a movie Terrifizer or whatever the name was. It was
Mm.
splatter, and I think that it didn't go anywhere. I was like, so what's the point of this movie?
Yeah.
I didn't find the point. And there is the number two, but the people apparently, I don't know, because my boyfriend was like, let's watch this because people say that it's good. It wasn't, but I was pretty sure because there is something missing in those new movies. I don't know, is
Yeah.
everything too in a way too perfect, but then they are missing some points,
Yeah,
I don't know. It was bad. It was
yeah,
boring. It was just splatter, and apparently people, when they go to the cinema, they were throwing up because of the scene, and they was like, that it's a movie, yeah, it's everything fake, it's not real. So maybe because I grow up watching movies in the 90s, horror movies in the 90s, with my mom
yeah,
since I was four
yeah,
years old. So maybe it doesn't affect me. I get affect of course if it something happen in real life. It's different. It's something
yeah,
that I could not understand. But the movie is pure imagination from someone that wrote the thing. But
yeah.
yeah,
I totally agree with you on it, Chris. I think that nowadays movies are much effects and no scripts at all,
mm,
no history, you know.
yeah,
So what is worth to have lots of VFX here and there, and even AI doing some images, you know? So what's the point of it? Where is the history? Where is the passion, the emotion?
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. It's
I mean,
like pointless.
yeah, I mean, in terms of horror, there's never more gonna be another Nightmare on Elm Street. No, never more.
Exactly,
I heard
exactly.
about that they did a remake, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch because
Mm, no, me neither. The new Freddy Krueger is awful,
yeah, it
ridiculous.
doesn't look right.
No, no, no. It seems Freddy Krueger from uh, the Pirate Bay, you know, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's not working. Yeah,
Yeah,
they try to do all those remake, and it's dumb in my opinion. You cannot make remake of those amazing movies that make history. So it's a bit,
absolutely. Yeah,
but
yeah, that's exactly what I think.
yeah,
I
I
think
don't
that
know.
if you, yeah, I think that, for instance, if you made a masterpiece, let it be, you know, let it there. It's a masterpiece. And it's from that time, but at the same time, it's timeless, you know, because it's
Yeah,
there. It's
yeah,
amazing, you know.
yeah,
I mean, comparing it to Leatherjacks, you know, it's the same thing that I tried to remake my first album. Why, you know? It's never gonna sound like what I did there in that time. So
yeah,
what's the point? I totally
yeah.
agree with you.
What's your favorite movie?
From my whole life, you mean?
The one that you will
Oh,
say, yeah, this is the movie that I love most.
mm, I think that I have two movies. The Matrix, of course. I mean, life-changing movies, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And They Live. Have you heard about it? From John Carpenter, a movie. The one that the guy puts the glasses and
yeah,
he sees the real world and so on. I mean, these two movies for me were life changing, you know, because I'm a huge fan of conspiracies, theories, and so on. It's a
yeah,
super amazing subject for music, you know. But at the same time, these are two movies that really makes us think about what's around us. What is everything, you know? I mean,
yeah.
it's
You
it
know,
makes us think.
talking about those kind of movie, um, and not that old. I'm thinking
Hmm.
it's quite new, but maybe it's not new anymore. But Inception was an interesting
Mm,
one.
I like that one. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that it's one of the best came out. When did it came out? I think that I saw
I
that in
think.
the cinema. So it
Yeah,
was between 2006 and 2012. So between that.
yeah, yeah.
So it's quite new in
Exactly.
my opinion, but not anymore.
But I think you're right. I think Inception is from 2011 or something like this, maybe.
Yeah,
But I love that kind of concept that you can visit a dream and then you go inside another dream of the dream, and
yeah,
how
yeah,
many layers, you know? Oh my God, it's bizarre. Have
yeah,
you heard
yeah. That
about
that was a well done movie.
yeah? And have you heard about that Japan is developing an artificial intelligence that can read your dreams and transform it into video?
Okay. No, I
They
haven't.
are yeah, they are developing it. Can you believe it, Chris? Oh my God, where are we going? You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
I
You
really
know,
feel I really feel afraid about AI personally. You know.
yeah, yeah. When it comes to AI, it's quite controversial because nowadays
Yeah,
people are everybody can use it and create video, and they seem real, so you can make people do whatever you want, even if
yeah,
it's wrong, or the
exactly.
photos. I'm quite good in spotting what it's right and what it's real and what's not. But on social
Not
media,
everyone is able to do it.
yeah, I see a lot of people sharing, and like, for example, there was this video. It was few days ago, and someone shared this video of apparently a polar bear helping a penguin, and giving the penguin to humans to help, and then the polar bear was there with humans, and humans were petting it, and people were like, the bear is more human than humans. What? like uh, like they were like thinking that that was real, like the
Yeah,
basic
yeah.
knowledge was missing from the person. So I think that all this I mean, yeah, internet is amazing and everything, but I think that people are getting dumb more and more.
We are, we are. I
So
think that
it's sad.
it is, it is. I mean,
People
I'm
cannot
39.
recognize what is real and what no, fake news
Yeah,
and so on. And just you can for example, when it comes to science thing, you can to see if it's true, uh,
exactly.
you just need to put like evidence based, so then you know, okay, it's evidence based, so it's true. But
Yeah,
yeah, not everybody is going to, they just fast and, oh my god. Yeah, yeah.
totally agree. And I'm 39 years old right now, almost 40 years old. And I see the new generations, and I am like, oh my God. Especially here in Brazil, we notice it, you know. There is a woman in politics, and from a little party here in São Paulo, you know. And she went to the avenue, reach out for people in the International Women's Day. By the way, congratulations for your day, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she went searching for women and girls, you know, to ask what is a woman to them, you know, and they didn't know how to describe themselves, especially that ones with 20 years old, 17 years old, you know. I feel that people are exactly that. They are getting dumber and dumber. And what is happening?
Yeah,
And it's from our generation to front, you know. From oldest generations, it's all okay, you know.
I mean, there are people born in the 40, 50, and 60, that's, yeah, they are also
Dumb.
believing
Yeah.
everything on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm like doing like this because I have my phone over there,
Yeah.
so I'm like, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm happy that I was born in the 80s, and so I, we didn't grow up with internet and stuff like this. So I'm happy there were no social media. So there is, because when you are a teenager, you are dumb mostly.
Oh yeah.
uh,
We all.
but there
Absolutely.
nowadays those kids, they we have forever they dumb videos on internet, because even if someone delete somewhere, the video is there forever. So
Exactly.
I think that social media should be not allowed under 18 years old.
I think the same too.
But whatever, it doesn't touch me. But I'm thinking maybe in the future, uh, if there is a future, because the world is crazy, so
Yes. I agree
everything
with
can
you.
happen.
Yeah. We are facing strange times, you know.
Yeah, yeah, we are in a difficult time, so let's hope that nothing bigger is going to happen.
No, no, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, but let's get to something more important than those things, that is
Absolutely.
pizza. So do you like pizza?
Of course, I love it. Especially the Brazilian ones, huh? I don't know
Okay,
if it's better than Italian, huh? But
so
I
how
love
is
it.
the Brazilian pizza? Tell me, because I have never been there, never eat Brazilian pizza, so you have
Uh,
to tell more.
I think the Brazilian pizza has a differential, especially here in Sao Paulo, you know, because during the World War II, we had lots of Italian immigrants here in Sao Paulo, you know, and the Portuguese accent from Sao Paulo is also a lot generated from the Italians that came here, you know. And since that time, we adopted pizza, you know, in our culture and so on. I mean, we have pizza in the entire Brazil, but the pizza from São Paulo
Is
is the
better.
best one. Yeah, in my opinion, you know, it's the best one. And it's different here because we mix it up with lots of different feelings, you know. um, I mean, not feelings, sensations. You know, I mean the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the the
Toppings.
kinds of, yeah, the kinds of the toppings, exactly, the kinds of different toppings and different flavors and so on. We have we have a pizza here that it's named Portuguesa, you know, or Portuguese, you know,
Yeah,
and we put mozzarella, we put ham, we put onions, eggs, you know, so it's a great moisture and it's
yeah, yeah,
delicious. You know?
yeah.
It's one
What's
of my favorite ones.
which one?
The Portuguesa one
So the
is
Portuguese is your favorite one.
one of my favorites. But I love the margarita, of course.
Well, the classic
Margarita is.
with a margarita. You can never go wrong with a margarita.
No, no, no. And the tomatoes, you know, the dry tomatoes, that sweet, tasty dry tomatoes. It's amazing.
Yeah. If Leatherjacks will be a pizza, what pizza will be? What kind of toppings will be on?
I think that leather jacks would be half margarita and half Portuguese, for
Okay.
sure. The best ones, of course.
Yeah.
But it's, you see, Chris, it's a kind of mixture because Leatherjacks is a kind of hard rock and heavy metal. So
Yeah, yeah, it
so you
makes
have
sense.
to
It
mix.
makes sense. And
Yeah.
then there is the question, because the word is divided in two.
Hmm.
Someone say yes and someone say no. Does
Mm.
pineapple belong to pizza?
Never. No. No. Pizza belongs to cheese, to tomatoes, ham, you know. Ham, it's okay, all right.
Yeah.
Onions, all right. But pineapples, no.
Do
Here
you
in Brazil, do you believe that we have a bean pizza? Bean pizza?
bean? Okay.
Yeah. Like rice and beans and so on. In Brazil, our traditional food, it's rice and beans.
Yeah.
But we put beans in a pizza. I mean, of course, not with cheese or things like that, but come on, No, don't do this.
Yeah.
And we
Do
have
you
also sushi pizza. Sushi pizza.
sushi pizza? So like
Mhm.
not cook fish on that
I
pizza.
think that they put, no, no, no. I think that they put cooked fish uh, rolled with the sushi above the
Okay,
above the.
that's interesting.
No, no, no. I prefer the pineapple one. I prefer.
Do you want
I
to hear a
really,
horror story about pizza?
of course.
Yeah. Well, when I moved to Finland, I moved as a au pair, and the family where I was at, they were like, "We are doing pizza, so come and put your topping," and they put peach syrup peach on the pizza. And apparently, other people in Finland do this horror movie style pizza.
No, with peach.
And not normal peach, the one in the syrup, so very very sweet.
Yeah.
Big
No,
no,
no, no.
big no.
I mean, you spoke about the pineapple one. We have here in Brazil sweet flavored pizzas, like chocolate pizza, for instance.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But in
then,
Italy there is
okay,
a, in Italy there is a Nutella pizza, but it's just
yeah, yeah,
the pizza like the bread, and then they put the
yeah,
Nutella and maybe a bit of
exactly,
whipped cream on, and that's
yeah,
it. But it's not big like a normal pizza because it will be too much. It's smaller.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think the pineapple. I think the pineapple. If it's only
will go
about
on then.
cinnamon and pineapple, okay, it's not
Yeah, yeah.
that. But if you put cheese with peach or pineapple, no, come on.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
No, 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 no. Never, never.
Never. If some well, in Finland, pineapple on pizza is quite common, and sometimes if
Hmm.
someone offer me a slice, I going to take the slice and take away the pineapple because yeah, it's a big no, the pineapple. I
But
don't know.
it's
Am I
pineapple.
rude?
No, I don't think so. But it's pineapple with cheese on it.
Cheese, tomatoes, and sometimes meat and whatever.
No, no. But I would love to eat pizza with the crocky pasta and so on, with cinnamon and pineapple. I think it would be a good uh, combination. Then I think it would be okay, but no cheese. Come on.
Yeah, a sweet pizza. But
Exactly.
let's
Oh, a
get
great
to the
dessert,
question.
by the way.
The question that the previous guest uh, left for you, and the
Oh,
question
whoa,
is,
whoa.
what is your favorite stuffed toy? and why?
Stuffed toy. What would be a stuffed toy?
It's a peluche. Plush.
Oh, peluche.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember having a stuffed toy. I remember that when I was super, super little, I had a little bunny, peluche bunny, super cute and so on. But I don't remember having any other of this. I do have many action figures actually,
Okay.
from the Thundercats, the MNT, and that kind of stuff. Just as any teenager boy. But Peluche, I think I don't remember nothing about.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
little bunny. And it
Yeah.
was super super cute. He was like this size, with uh, and it has even the reddish eyes, just like the real bunny. Super cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like a baby bunny,
Yeah.
but
So
I
that
don't
that
have it.
was
I think someone ate the bunny.
now it came in my mind when I was like 4 years old. I had this. What's the name in English? What's the chicken baby, the yellow one? What's in English?
Um, oh my God.
But you got what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
had that one that was when it was it was like a egg, and then you were like, sorry, I was like this. It was like an egg, and then you open. It was soft. It was small one, and it was my favorite. Yeah,
I think, yeah, I think in English they call it the little cock or something like this.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, that one. There are sometimes words that I have never used, and then like, what's that? What's that in English?
Yeah,
Confusing stuff.
in, in Brazil it's the same thing that happens. It's the word for pinto. And you can use it both for the that thing or
Yeah,
the animal. I think it's the same thing with cock. Little cock. So you had a peluche of that little chicken,
yeah. But yeah,
the
that's
yellow
the story. But now
one.
it's your turn to leave a question. It can be anything.
Um, Let me think about anything.
Anything.
I think that I will ask for a little more philosophical one. All right.
Yeah.
If aliens came here to Earth, what would you say to them? What would you teach to them, or try to reach out? To interact. What would you do or ask? Or it's
Yeah.
my huge curiosity for the next.
Let's see what the next guest will answer.
Yes, yes, the next
It's
yes,
going to
yes.
be interesting. I have those all the question that every interview I did uh, actually start just. It was not from the beginning the question, but then I start with asking a question for the next, and it start with very you know kind of light question, and then it got more into um, deep topics, and then it go up and down. It's interesting
Yeah,
also to see what people are going to ask after. So, and since it can be everything, it's sometimes crazy.
It is.
So then it's fun to see the face of the person when I'm reading the question. Of, what?
It is because yeah, because it's a surprise, you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
know.
But we are at the
It's
end of
funny.
this episode of Metal Pizza. So thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. Would you like to say something to people that are watching?
I would like to thank everyone, especially you, Chris, for the opportunity. It was a great time, a great chat, a great space. I'm super happy for being here. I hope to do more times with you. Super cool. And oh, I remember one thing, the spoiler I mentioned with
Oh,
you about
yeah.
the fourth album. I think that the album is gonna be named The Fourth Dimension because it's the fourth album, you know.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Chris and everyone here, stay tuned, guys, because
Absolutely.
it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a good one, a good album. You know.
Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
I
see.
will keep
Let's see.
everyone.
Let's wait. Let's warm up.
I will keep. I will keep everyone updated for sure.
Great. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.